Okay, so it can get lonely, yeah, in the tech industry. I'm sure Chidera can relate, Benedica can relate, and every other person that has gone through this part can relate. How like um starting out because when I started out, I was on Twitter. I was able to see how like people post like tweet like really really abstract things and it didn't make any sense to me. And what was lacking then was um I I needed somebody or a group of people to hold my hand and not just so I had like this over information issue. There was a lot of information everywhere. And what TTT has been able to do or is doing is we've filtered everything. Everything is now filtered. And we basically help you go transition smoothly. So having said that, I'm going to go to the next part and introduce our speaker. Okay. Chidera Amuta is the group lead at FSBH. And prior to our entry into the tech industry, Chidera worked as an experiential marketer with a pharmaceutical company and with a marketing agency as an account manager where she managed digital marketing, PR, email marketing, social media, and experiential marketing for brands that cut across public and private sectors. She also worked as head of marketing, branding, and comms for Kishi Technologies Limited, where she championed branding, communication, and various marketing campaigns across Nigeria and the UK. She has certification from the Chartered Institute of Marketing, Orange Academy Integrated Brand Experience, and a growth course with Demand Core. Chidera has a bias for startups and has consulted for and spearheaded various projects in fintech, construction, real estate, and logistics, resulting in notable accomplishments across board. She has successfully mentored individuals, aiding them in transitioning from marketing roles to becoming successful growth marketers. Her ultimate goal is to assist as many startups as possible to achieve growth through effective hacking, communication, and branding. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Chidera Amuta, our guest speaker for today.
Thanks, Kai. When you read it like that, it sounds bigger than it is. I don't know why you read it that way, but thank you.
So guys, please don't think she's a small woman. This woman she's big. Don't mind her modesty. So Chidera, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I mean, as you were reading my bio, I just remembered out of NYSC, and you're just sort of looking for what to do. you know that time in life, and I found myself doing this experiential marketing thing with this pharmaceutical company, which is like my dad's friend's company, and it was right until life came on and knocked me on my head, and I just figured that I have to. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so I mean, I was just saying that until life came and knocked me on my head, then I just knew I had to be serious. Like I had to wake up from my cruise and my slumber. So hearing you read it, it's funny, but I'm grateful to God for where I am today.
Yeah. And sometimes we don't know how far we've gone until like we actually see these things in writing. So thank you so much for being here. We don't take it for
Thank you
granted.
for having me.
Great. So I'd like for you to let's just get into it. And I'd like for you to say us like let's say toddlers. My cousin has like a toddler and she's like what, 2, and she speaks a lot of baby language. And sometimes
Oh, is it just me? I think Tai is frozen. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear he's actually frozen. I think his network is
Okay.
dodgy.
Yeah.
Frozen. Okay, I guess what Tai was trying to say was that you should just imagine that we are all children and explain what you do for work. Like if you were to explain it to 5-year-olds or toddlers, as he said, what do you do for work?
Okay, so I mean, when people tell you to create an elevator speech, because you don't know who you're going to meet, when you're going to meet them. So the first thing that comes out from my mouth is, like when I'm introducing myself, is I'm a growth marketer with a bias for startups. But I mean, just to break down what I do, because when people hear growth marketing, they're like, it's not like marketing. Like, what is growth marketing? And then when you now go and say you're a growth hacker, you just throw them off, because then people just, their minds travel to people tweaking codes and doing all those very smart stuff. I mean, it's smart stuff, right? But let me break it down. So my role involves creating and implementing new projects and identifying new opportunities to drive my organization's growth, right? And my role is unique because I double as the marketing lead and the growth lead. So I combine both. And so I'm identifying growth channels and overseeing testing and execution of marketing and growth strategies. So I think why it has worked for me, because coming from an agency, coming from like a core marketing, I'll use the word background, where I worked for some time, it was very difficult for me to adjust. I had to unlearn a lot of things. But I think what helped was I get bored really fast, and I'm just motivated to see change, and I just want things to be done differently. So, and I think for every growth marketer, for you to be successful in a growth marketing role, you need to be insatiable for change. So I'm constantly doing that, like every day. I can easily change gears and adapt to like a new situation. I try to do a campaign every month based on like insights from customer data, and I'm just sort of experimenting on new things based on hypotheses. I'm just looking for that change, right? Because I mean, I'll say naturally that's who I am, but really that's what my role entails, because for you to grow a business while you are aligning with that business's goals, you also have that insatiable hunger, for change, because really change brings growth. And so, for example, our investment numbers were a bit stagnant between, I think, last month and February. And so we decided that we're going to do an investment campaign, So overall, a typical day for me involves just testing out hypotheses, looking into like data, looking into what's happening on our mobile app, looking into how our customers are reacting to the product, and from the observation from our campaigns, from our activities, I am coming up with strategies that can move the business from one level to another. I also have a team that helps me. I don't do it alone. So I delegate tasks to my team, and then I check in with them intermittently. They're a very capable team, so I don't need to micromanage them. But I mean, that's it. I hope I haven't rambled, but that's really it in a nutshell, because like in summary, you're looking at, your eyes are on your company's goals. You use your company's goals to create your own goals, and then you are actively, testing out things, doing things to achieve those goals. And hopefully, maybe with the questions that you would ask, I don't know, I probably might be able to get into more details, but that's really it in a nutshell.
All right. Thank you so much.
Otaye, you're back.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. You are helpful. Okay. Can you explain the role of a growth hacker in and how like it differs from the traditional marketing role?
Okay, so growth hacking really is just employing certain strategies to achieve your goals. And while you're doing this, you're just ensuring that you're doing it at like very minimum spend. Your goals can range from customer acquisition to retention, and you can even stretch it to as far as getting your customers to be loyal. But the major difference between growth hackers and like the traditional marketing roles is that growth hackers focus solely on strategies relating to intentionally growing the business. So they hypothesize, they prioritize, and test out innovative growth strategies. And how would you know this? By looking at your environment, by looking at what your competitors are doing, by looking at your customer data, by looking at, if you have, these days we have softwares that can help us track our customer journeys. I know the fintech guys on the call will probably be able to relate, but you're looking into all these things to draw insights from, to influence what you're going to do next. So you're analyzing and you're testing, you're looking at what is working, you're looking at what isn't working. An ideal growth hacker knows how to set growth priorities, to identify channels for customer acquisition, and then you're constantly measuring success to scale growth, right? But on the other hand, traditional marketing, and it's really interesting because I wish we could go into it, but traditional marketing shouldn't even be looked down on because there's also a lot of work that goes into it, because they also focus on customer acquisition, retention, revenue. If you want to compare fintechs to like traditional banks and the role that growth marketers and the regular marketers play, it's almost the same. But the difference really is that growth marketers are really intentional about data, right? They are looking into the numbers. They are not just coming up with ideas based on a hunch. They are looking at how their customers are relating with their product. They are looking at their competitors and something we call customer journey. So if you look at your customer journey from when they download your app to when they take a call action on your app, you can see maybe where there are drop-offs, and you can see, the particular feature on your app that they come on there to use. So those are the things that will drive, your strategies or what you want to do. So I think where traditional marketing stops is where growth picks it up, because growth is really intentional about, the numbers, about data, and using that data, to draw out insights to make a change to grow the business. I'll say really that's it. That's like the main difference. And growth hackers are constantly testing and experimenting things based on the data that they get from the things that they see their customers do, or how their customers relate with their products. So they are basically just drawing out those insights and testing it to see if those things will work. Or we just don't test because we have a hunch or because we see our competitors doing it. We test because it's actually data driven. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. having said this, I'd like to ask, why growth hacking? Why didn't you do web development or product management? Why growth hacking?
It is a very interesting question because I was poached by one of my clients from when I was working in a marketing agency. And so you just said, I think you can be a growth marketer. I like the way you think. I like how you're always seeking to see change. I think you really do well in growth marketing. And I was thinking to myself, what is growth marketing? I'd never heard of it before. It was really strange. But I took on the challenge because I think why I took it on was because I was, sort of getting bored with where I was before, and growth seemed like the new thing when I did research on it, because I didn't even know about it. And so I decided to do it because it was closely related to what I was already doing. But where I needed to unlearn, and what I needed to unlearn was, just doing things out of, oh, this looks good on paper. This is a very creative approach to do things. This is a very, when you write the copy like this, or you do the design like this, you get your customers' attention. But growth is very different because you are not doing things, out of vibes and inshallah. You're doing things because you have looked at the numbers and you're certain to a large extent that if you test out this thing that you're suspecting would work, it would help you get closer to your goals or help you achieve your goals. So, I could have done web dev. I created my own personal website myself. So I could have done that, but I just thought of a career path. And because I had already started with marketing, and growth and marketing were closely related, I just thought to myself, why not just build that career path along these lines and, be intentional about it. So that's really why I did growth. I took on growth, and I'm pursuing this growth marketing, growth hacking trajectory.
Everything sounds so interesting so far. I'm particularly excited because because I've been in customer facing roles. So just hearing you say customer journey map, I was like, yeah. But yeah. So what do you think a person needs to know or what do they need to learn to become a growth hacker from your experience?
What do they need to learn?
Learn or know, yes.
Or no. So I would say that, and I'll use myself as an example. Like I mentioned, I had to unlearn a lot of things, but I think career growth is like a very personal journey. So what I had to do was I had to be intentional about, where I wanted to be. I knew that I was new in this growth thing and I didn't really know anything, but I knew that what I knew wasn't really enough, to help me thrive as a growth marketer. And to even, I don't know if you guys know how it feels, working in a corporate environment where people are talking and you open your mouth and you are not really saying, things that matter. So I had to be very, very, very driven. I set goals and I was like, okay, by this time I need to know this, I need to know that. And so I took courses. It might sound very cliche, but you can't go wrong with courses. And I like that we mentioned that I took a growth course in my bio, because I took this growth course with Demand Call. My boss actually paid for a very expensive course, and I took it and I was so happy because it opened my eyes to, growth hacking and growth engineering and how people use data, how you can use data to move your business from one level to another. So I would say for hard skills, right? For very hard skills, you need to think of the things that encompass growth. You cannot separate growth from marketing. You can't. You if you have a career, if you've built a career or you have experience in marketing and driving growth, you can begin to take courses, listen to podcasts, listen to join webinars, get a mentor. For me, I just consult for businesses free of charge, right? I just tell people, oh, tell me about your business, and I share ideas with them, and I even go as far as sitting with their staff, especially their marketing team, just sort of brainstorming on ideas with them, and I do it for free because I know it helps me. So in terms of hard and soft skills, for hard skills, you want to know a bit of email marketing, digital marketing. You want to also know like content writing, content creation. For soft skills, I would say interpersonal skills are important because for any growth role or even any marketing role, you would need to work cross-functionally a lot with different people in the organization. Apart from knowing what the business goals are, you probably need to work with operations, the product team, and some other people within the organization so that you guys are aligned on like a similar path. You would also need to like have very strong critical thinking skills, because there's some times that things will just crop up and you need to think on your feet. All right, that scenario that I painted when a lot of people in your organization are gathered and you need to speak intelligently to stuff. This is when you need the critical thinking, right? And then problem solving. We had a situation recently when we're doing a Twitter space session and one of our speakers canceled last minute. We had to think on our feet. We had to, it was an interesting experience working under pressure, problem solving, critical thinking. All those skills had to play out there, right? And it's not something that you go and read a book about. So you need to get a mentor. Getting a mentor might sound cliche, but it really helps you. Taking on free work. Just take on free work. It will be painful while you're doing it, but you're learning and you're growing and you're being exposed to like different scenarios. So when things that are probably not even in your industry line, like I'm in the finance industry, maybe something that is from construction comes up and you did something on construction for one of your friends, you'll be able to speak intelligently about it. So for me, I would say work for free, listen to podcasts, just challenge yourself to take on tasks, that would involve you thinking outside the box, and you find yourself naturally doing these things, and these hard and soft skills would just naturally grow. So, that's basically what I would say.
Thank you so much. It's awesome that you mentioned taking a course. As you said, it's really, really important. You literally had to upskill to do better at your job. And then when you even said mentoring, we scream this a lot in our community. And we try to tell people, well, I think many times people don't understand the impact that mentoring has when you're transitioning to a new role. In fact, all of the things you've said, I can't even say them better than you said. So that leads me to my next question. The world is changing, everything is changing, and everybody's talking about the future of work. So how would you say that AI will impact growth hacking in the future, or how has it even impacted growth hacking presently?
Right, so I mentioned some softwares. Maybe I can mention their names. So the likes of Power BI. Things that can just sort of help you look into, like, understand your customers better and how they are relating with your products. And for startups, I'll use fintech as an example because I've played in this space for a while. There are tools that are coming up like per second, right? You might get overwhelmed with all those tools. But when you're intentional about growing and learning, you probably just pick like one or two tools and just study them and understand them. But it's not business as usual where you can do like a campaign on TV and it's showing on Africa Magic and you tick yourself good that, oh, the campaign showed, so we're doing great. Now, there are tools that can actually measure whether, the eyeballs that are seeing those campaigns, right? And, for us in fintech, you can measure from, your app downloads to even when people take the littlest action on your product. So AI is taking over, has taken over, and it would even get better, right? Where we'll make sure, we just need to sort of make sure that we don't go obsolete, like we are still relevant with, like in terms of knowing how to use these tools and knowing how to, analyze whatever information that you are seeing on those tools. But I gave an example. My team and I were talking about ChatGPT, and I like to write. I like to write crazy stuff from, business writing to like very crazy thoughts, whatever comes to my head. And someone was like, "Oh, have you tried using ChatGPT to see if ChatGPT would help with your crazy thoughts?" And I was like, let me even try it. And you can put the craziest question on ChatGPT and it will bring out stuff for you, right? So the only thing is that human feel to it won't be there, right? You know that it's just a robot that wrote this thing. But I'll just say that while AI is coming to, threaten our relevance, we also need to keep up by knowing how to use these tools, by knowing what these tools are for, and just wielding the possibilities of those tools to your own advantage, right? So you might not know a lot of them, so you can, if you are the kind of person like me that listens to podcasts, all the marketing growth podcasts, I love Demand Calls because they are very, very, new, and they just always know what is happening in the industry. So if you listen to those kind of people, they're already telling you, so by June, this thing is going to come out. So you can prepare yourself before it comes out. So if you arm yourself with those kind of information, you won't become irrelevant, right? You use AI to your advantage. So I mean, that's really it. It can get really scary because a lot of people will say, ChatGPT will take writers' jobs, but I really doubt it. I really doubt it because that human feel is missing. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're sounding very far from your device.
Hi, everyone. When you get in, please try and mute your mics. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute them. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Chidera. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
So in order to stay relevant, use AI properly. In summary, that's the summary of what you said. So you talked about like mentorship previously, how like you got a mentor. What's like the best way to get a mentor in growth hacking? Is it the best fit for an intending growth hacker? Is it something that can you walk the growth hacking out alone, or do you really need a mentor?
Hmm. Well, for the most part, I worked alone, but later I got a mentor. You can work alone, but it will only take you so far. Um, One thing that people don't really understand about mentorship is you don't really have to go and touch your mentor. Like you don't really need to. you can have a you can have a mentor that you just sort of listen to, the things that they say, you follow them, you know the project that they're working on, you follow that project, you see the things that they've done, you learn from their mistakes. It doesn't have to be, oh, this person, Alakija, is my mentor. We talk every day. He gave me an assignment the other day and I failed it. Those kind of mentorship things, stereotypes that people think. You can have a mentor that you just admire and you follow and you learn from them. You can do them an email. One beautiful thing about growth is that it's relatively new. So a lot of us are happy to help the people that are coming into it, because we know that when we started, it was very gray for us. And a lot of these growth people out there are happy to help the upcoming guys. So you can reach out to them, via email, social media. You can just tell them, oh, I'm interested in this thing that you're doing. One thing I would encourage you to do, because if someone just comes and tells me they're interested in something, I'll ask you plenty of questions. So if you want to avoid those questions, you can just come in and say, oh, this is what I have worked on. Share like a very quick elevator pitch, and say, this is what I'm looking to achieve. I've seen that you've done it before. I just want to, learn how you did it. I want you to hold my hand through it. And believe me, they'll be happy to do it. My mentor, funny enough, was a guy that, and exactly, your mentor is not gender specific. It can be a lady and have a male mentor, right? So, but you just need to, the person just needs to be like very responsible, and that this person is able to help you achieve what you want to achieve. So my mentor was very big on strategy, marketing strategy, and it was what I needed at that time, and I needed to learn that marketing strategy in order to implement in growth, right? So, like I said, it kind of works hand in hand, marketing and growth. But I needed him to take me through how, his thought process and every other process in terms of strategy. So your mentorship, when you're seeking out a mentor, it has to be needs based. It has to be, what do you want to achieve at that time? If it's like an overall, growth mentor that you need, that's also fine. Like I said, you can just always reach out to them and they'll be happy to hear you and help you with what you need. So do you need a mentor? Yes, but you need to, while you are trying to get one, you can, listen to people online, watch videos. I used to have a friend that will just dig into brands. Your network is also really important. You probably might not even need a mentor if you have a strong network of people that share the same interests with you. So we used to dig into brands. We just take like maybe Milo, for example, and we just dig into Milo and just talk about what we think, what our thoughts are, and those kind of things really would sharpen you. I said iron sharpens iron. So you while you're trying to get a mentor, be intentional with your network, and yeah, it would take you as far, and prepare you for when you eventually get a mentor, or are able to get a mentor.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. So, from what you said, getting a mentor, it doesn't need getting a mentor doesn't need to be gender specific. And while you are working towards also
I'm struggling to hear you, Tai. I'm really struggling to hear you. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I said amazing. What I picked from that was that in getting a mentor, you shouldn't be biased with the gender, and also while trying to get a mentor, you can also build your connection, and in that way, that can also happen. So this brings me down to the next question. How easy is it to find a job in growth hacking or set up in as a freelancer in growth hacking? How easy is that?
Mm. Okay. I would say it's just like getting any other job. I don't want to bring in the Nigerian thing where you need to know somebody to know somebody and know somebody that would help you. Sometimes that's the case, but for me, um, someone just saw that I would be a relevant member, you know, to join his team, and he pushed me. But for others, before, growth is a very sensitive thing. It's a very sensitive role because I mean, the business is literally in your hands because you are tasked with ensuring that the business goes from point A to B. And then you have like goals that are coined from the business's goals. So you cannot, it's not, you can't just really cruise through it, right? A lot of us find it very easy to go from one brand to another, one business to another, because we're already in space. But even at that, we still struggle. But for new guys, I would say that you can just take those courses, right? You can join communities, growth communities. A mentor could also help you. But I know that the interns in my organization, how they came in was, they were really young with no experience, and so we were willing to give them that chance. So they're just fresh out of school. So you can join internship programs, internship growth programs in organizations that offer these programs, and hopefully that would work out for you. Because if I tell you that you take courses and then start applying, it doesn't really work out that way most times. But it could work out, right? It just depends on how favored you are. The textbook answer that I can give is, do those courses, start applying for jobs, and hopefully somebody will see you and be willing to give you a chance. The very practical answer that I can give is go out there and choose to work for free, right? Because nobody would want to give you that opportunity when you haven't really had the experience, except if you lie in your resume, but they will still catch you. Because when it now comes to doing the work, that's where muzzle pull catch your whole body. So you might want to consider working for free, and maybe when you get a mentor, the mentor can help, or you can just offer to work for free with an organization that has, especially fintechs and startups, and give yourself a timeline for that free working. You're not working for free forever. You can just say, okay, I'll do this for like 2 or 3 months, and then I can use this experience to get another job. In most organizations, the levels are like internship before you become an analyst, and then you go to like associate and the rest of them. So you can start with working for free as an intern, and then you can give yourself 2 or 3 months, 4 months, half year. With that experience, you can then apply for an analyst role or like a junior role in an organization, and you can build your career from there. If you're one of these trust fund babies that have uncles and aunties that are placed strategically somewhere, you can be lucky and you just get into an organization that would you have people that you're working with, and you can just hide, you can hide in between whatever it is that they're doing, and you learn in the process. And from there, you can find your way. But don't do that. That's bad advice. But some people do it, sir. Just sharing.
Okay. So you need a job to get experience, but then you need experience to get a job.
That is frozen again, though. It's in my end.
Yeah, I can hear that it's frozen. The network is really bad.
Yeah, Nigeria is happening to him.
Yes, Nigeria is Nigerian. I know that you've said so much, and anybody that is how do they say it? There's a Nigerian proverb: anyone that has ears should hear. You said earlier that you like to consult for people. I just want to say, let me throw it out there in front of everybody, as everyone is hearing that. Will you come and consult for us? We need it too.
honestly, I don't mind. I probably might not be able to give you all of my time, but I'll be happy to sit down and just understand your business, share my ideas with you, and follow you through the process. I won't maybe roll up my sleeves and do the work, but I'm happy to brainstorm and stuff with you guys and just help you through the process. But yeah, I do it. It's something I do happy. So I'm happy to do it.
Okay. Let me let everyone know that they can throw in their questions now. I just want to put that out so that anyone that hasn't can start to put out questions, because Chidera has a hard stop in a few minutes. Yeah. So hold on, please. We generally so in our community, right, we try to do things like what's it called, growth, speed mentoring, right? And I want to ask you to think of everybody. Would you be willing to mentor anybody that falls into the growth hacking category? Are you happy to take on any mentees, even if it's just like an hour or two of your time every other week or even once a month? Are you happy to do that?
Absolutely. I can. If the person is willing to work with my own schedule, I can. I really would want to help anyone that is ready to be helped, because I want to be part of people's success stories. I want we're all greedy like that. I want when someone is telling their story, they'll say, she helped me. And I'll be shining my teeth at the back, but yeah, I'm happy to do it, but with some conditions.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. So there's a question here that says, are you enjoying your journey as a growth hacker? So like, I'm guessing that the person is asking from the beginning, when you entered and you didn't even know what they were saying, to this time, have you enjoyed your journey? Are you still enjoying your journey?
When I started, I said that I get bored very, very fast. Mm-hmm. I get bored easily. So I am loving it because it's challenging. You need to come up with new stuff. And the clients are changing. Like customers are, I don't know if you guys have noticed on social media, for example, before we used to get 4,500 likes on a post, plenty likes, plenty comments, people excited to do stuff. But now if you see 2 likes, you're blessed.
Yes, thank God.
So the attention span is thinning. And even when you try something out and it worked, you might have to try a different thing because that thing that you worked has already gone out of style, right? You're constantly following trends. You're looking at, a mentor brand in the US or the UK, and you're just looking at what they're doing. And those guys are changing constantly. So you also need to, keep up and also be hungry for change. So I have enjoyed it because, I mean, it's working for, it's working for me, right? I know people that have struggled because it can be very demanding. But if you are that kind of person that's just happy to keep learning, keep trying out new things, it's a career that you will thrive in. So far, it's been enjoyable for me. I saw a question pop up whether there's money in growth marketing. My brother, my sister, there is. There is, there's a lot of money, and where most of us, when there's like a roadblock for most of us is where you want to take on so many things, because now most of us work remotely, so you can take on more than one role, and you're able to work on those roles, especially when you tell yourself that Shebi is in the same finance industry, so what would work for A would work for B. Nah, it won't. It's a lesson I had to learn very, very, very painfully. So there's a lot of money. You can move from one organization to the next, depending on the higher payer. But you also want to look at it from the point of, being able to boast that you took a business from one level to another. All right. And that's where being intentional with your career comes in. You want to say, oh, I was part of the team that did this, that. You can move from one organization in fintech, one fintech company to another fintech company, because they are both fintechs. You probably might, do well, but you would do extremely well if you stay put and, grow where you are, water the ground where you are. So when you leave in like 2 years or 3 years or whichever time you set for yourself, you can say, oh, there were this, that projects that we worked on, and I was able to achieve this, that. But there's money, it's very tempting. Someone was saying that fintech money is like blood money. It's very tempting. you can get lost. But think of your goals, think of where you want your career to be. The industry is very small. Whatever industry you find yourself in, it's very small. They will carry your name and they will carry your gist. So just be intentional with building a career as opposed to like pursuing money. It's not a cliche answer. It's not a goody two shoes answer. No, I have experienced it and I'll tell you for free. Don't do it. Water the ground where you're on and watch it grow. It will pay you in the long run.
Okay, for everybody else that did not hear what she said, you don't know, many people like to learn from experience, but you don't have to learn from your own personal experience. You can learn from another person's experience. So she has told you it's a lesson she had to learn painfully. So if you don't want to have that same painful experience, just listen and take it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this session. I enjoyed many of the things you said. Mentoring is not gender specific. It's great to go with people that you click with. I know you said that you paid for a course that was very expensive. Well, your employer paid for a course.
My boss paid for it. Yeah.
That was very expensive. But I know that it paid off in the end. Look at you now. Look at where you are. And even you said you like to listen to their podcasts and all that. The same company. So yeah, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy for all the things you shared. I'm happy that you mentioned the thing about evolving. Many people don't think that they need to evolve in their as people. People just get bored and move on to the next thing, but you don't try to look for new ways to be better or to add value. So that's like my real takeaway from this. Evolve and make sure you add value, don't chase money. I hope that every other person enjoyed being here. We have 4 minutes before Chidera kicks us out. So any contributions? I know you've asked questions, but any contributions? Anybody that wants to say anything? Now is a good time to say something before we say farewell to Chidera. Anybody? Okay. So Chidera, we would be in touch. I'm definitely going to take you up on the things that I asked you.
No worries. No worries.
Do you have any final words for us and the people listening?
Final words. I mean,
that you want to say that we didn't ask or you didn't touch on? Yeah.
Right. Overall, I would say that people need to go with the trends and the times. I would say that if you are in a core marketing role or you work with like a marketing agency, you might want to, just start pursuing a career growth, because the way a lot of startups are cropping up, there's fintech, agri-tech, health tech, basically, you want to stay, in the game by pursuing a career in growth marketing. There's also product marketing and some other, marketing. I'll use the word arms, but if you currently work in an agency, you might want to consider that, because in like maybe the next 5 to 10 years, tech would have completely taken over, and you probably might want to, start now. Or if you're just starting from scratch, it's a good thing that you're here and also already thinking about a growth marketing career. So you're on the right path. But if you're in a marketing agency, really think about it. That's what I would leave everybody with. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for stopping before my 2 p.m. I really appreciate it.
No, I like to keep to time, or we like to keep to time. So thank you for sharing your one hour with us.
Yeah, well done.
And blessing us with everything that you said. Yeah. Thank you. For everyone else, please feel free to fill the feedback form that is in the chat. We like data. We want to hear what you think about this, how it's impacted you, what you think can be better. Please feel free to fill the form. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll see you again in the next tech showcase. Bye.
Bye everyone. Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.